earn money, save money and buy things. Living beyond the economic cycle is impossible. What trends are dictated by world markets and how does it affect consumers? Watch it in People and Economy.
Within 7 years, residents of Helsinki, the largest city of Finland, will abandon fully their own vehicles and change them on the public transport. Such forecasts are given us by experts. Now the municipal government is implementing the plan on improving the local infrastructure. The tendency towards the rejection of the use of cars can be observed everywhere. Only in Russia, for the last year, almost 15% of car owners changed their vehicles on buses, trams and metro. The majority of residents use public transportation. First of all, because it is comfortable. The priority to public transportation is given in all metropolises throughout the world. This global trend also affected Kazakhstan. For instance, public transportation in Astana carries more than 600,000 people daily. More than 40,000 passengers use the Almaty subway every day. For reference, 2 years ago, this figure did not exceed 10,000. I have just 2 stop-offs in my way and I have enough time to get to my job. It is worthy of note that almost 1/3 of public transportation passengers have their own vehicles. Maksut Ibragimov is one of them. The driver with a 20-year experience travels in his car only on weekends. It helps him to save much money, he says. Presently, 1 liter of gasoline costs 130 tenge. I travel 20 kilometers from my home to work and spend 300 tenge on gasoline. Using public transport helps me to save about 220 tenge every day. In order to reduce the travel time in urban centers, local authorities introduce new routes and expand the public transport fleet. In some cities, buses and trolleybuses move along special lanes. Owners of private cars who cross these lanes are penalized. Such measures have already proved successful, experts say. Now buses move with a considerably higher speed. For comparison, before the introduction of this lane, buses made 4 round trips a day. Now they make 6 to 7 round trips daily. In other words, the traffic speed rose by 60 to 70%. Along with that, within the nearest 2 years, it is planned to install new smart traffic lights capable of regulating traffic speed and density, as well as react adequately to traffic jams. At the same time, the new electronic traffic guides will control the public transport in accordance with a new scheme. Public vehicles will have a priority over private cars on city roads. It will help to increase its traveling speed. As a result, people will spend less time on trips and dedicate more time to their work. Innovations make the public transport much more attractive for population. For example, free Wi-Fi is now available in some buses. It has been especially appreciated by the youth. Indeed, the number of young passengers for the last year increased by 20%. The payment system has also undergone some changes. Each passenger now has an individual transport payment card. Now there is no more need to carry money in pockets. Instead of that, we have just to apply this card to a terminal apparatus installed near each door of a bus and then this way pay for our ticket. By doing so, we save our money. Analysts calculated that almost every resident of big cities spends more than 200 hours in traffic jams. Every hour he loses about $5 and $1,200 annually. Even in mornings, we are already exhausted due to the excessive time spent in traffic jams. Our working capacity drops, we feel unwell and nervous. It has a bad impact on our work and our company suffers losses. The environment is also suffering. In fact, more than 1 million of exhaust gases are emitted into the atmosphere of Kazakhstan. Cutting down the car fleet and traffic jams will help to reduce the emissions level almost 2 times, ecologists say. Statistically, in our cars usually travel 1 or 1.5 passengers. Meanwhile, one bus which consumes 3 times more gasoline in comparison with a car can carry tens of times more passengers. Consequently, the less gasoline is spent on each passenger, the less harmful substances are emitted into the atmosphere. Experts calculated that almost 45% of citizens of Kazakhstan spend $1 a day on public transportation. Another quarter spends 2 times less. The remaining part spends up to 25 cents or does not use public transportation at all. Europe is the region with the most developed infrastructure of public transportation, electric cars and bicycles. Each second, a European abandons his own vehicle in favor of buses or subway. Experts explain this trend by high level of services. The quality of transportation services in Europe is very high. The Europeans are unlikely to use public transportation of low quality. It is a fact that public transport in European cities is given a priority. Since recently, so-called autolibs or public electric cars are gaining in popularity with the Europeans. People of France like this innovation most of all and now prefer to rent such type of transport. For reference, temporary use of this vehicle costs €3. Meanwhile, traveling in a taxi costs €8 and one subway trip €2. Therefore, the problem of own car maintenance disappears. People can take an autolib at a parking lot near their houses and then return them at parking area near their work. Governments of some European states suggest citizens to stop using their own vehicles. In exchange, people are offered to use public transportation for free and many other benefits. For example, in Spain, one trip in an autobus or tram costs €1.5. At the same time, a 10-trip ticket is sold at a discount of about €3. Germany has a very developed railway system. Some time ago, a lot of rail tracks were built throughout the country. As a result, now people living in suburbs can easily get to their work in a city. Japan, Korea, Malaysia and Singapore are countries with most innovative and comfortable public transportation. For instance, the municipal transport system in Singapore consists of subway, speed tram, city buses, monorail and cable road. Special application allows to choose several routes at a time, and single electronic payment cards allow to save up to 20% of family budget. Indeed, the payment of fare to go on a cross-town lines makes up $7 Singaporean. The same trip paid by means of a card will cost only $5. Trains in China are the most popular transport. It is considered the most speedy and comfortable. About 10 million of Chinese people use railway transport every day, the statistic shows. The demand for buses is as high. However, the problem is that they're always overcrowded. The situation in Korea is somewhat better. The local authorities take every effort to make the public transportation system better. Public transportation in Seoul is given a priority. It moves across special lanes. Buses are of high quality. 90% of them are powered by compressed natural gas. The fare payment system is fully electronic. Getting from one point to another is much more comfortable in public transport than in a car. The US has the largest car fleet in the world. More than 70 million vehicles are annually produced and sold in the country. Despite this fact, the US has a very developed public transportation infrastructure. And it should be noted that more and more Americans prefer buses, trams and subway instead of cars. The reason for that are high prices of parking, which now reach almost $40 per day. As a rule, the urban population lives in suburbs and works in city centers. To get to work, they use their own cars in order to get to some large junction points. After that, they leave their cars and travel in public transportation to the city center. In evenings, they go to the junction points in public transport. Then they take their cars and turn back home. Scheduled running time is the main feature of civil transportation in the US. Almost each bus stop is equipped with a timetable which indicates the arrival time of a bus or trolley bus accurate to the minute. Such punctuality has resulted in the development of special tariffs. Once making a payment, you can use any kind of public transportation within a certain period of time. For example, between 7 and 9:30 in the morning. Nowadays, the bicycle sharing system is becoming popular in different parts of the world. It implies renting a bicycle for a short period of time. It can be taken at one station and then left at any other. As a rule, bicycle sharing systems are used to complement municipal public transportation systems. Usually, such stations are located along transport corridors. Their mission is to help people to get, for example, from home to a bus stop or a subway station. In fact, it is better to cover a distance between 2.5 and 10 kilometers by bicycle instead of a car. This system is widely used in the US, Europe and Asia. For example, people in China buy up to 20 cards monthly in order to use such bicycles. In the US, more than 100 new bicycle stations are put into service. In Paris, one can rent a bicycle almost everywhere. And it is not only adults that use this means of transportation. Earlier, there were only bicycles for adults. Now bicycles for teenagers and children are also available. It allows people to travel with the whole family. Renting a bicycle in European countries varies from €1 per day to €44 per year. In Asia, prices begin from $2 per day and in the US from $7 to $15. A travel ticket can help to reduce fare costs. The total price of all trips within 1 month is much higher than the price of a travel card. It should be also noted that its price does not change depending on the chosen tariff. In addition, there are special low-cost fare travel tickets. Low-fare tickets can be intended for pensioners, school children and students. Travel tickets for retired persons are available in kiosks near bus stops. Monthly tickets for school children and students are mainly sold in educational institutions and they cannot be restored in case of loss. Because of that, many countries, including Kazakhstan, started using personal payment cards. Personal electronic payment cards are valid in all types of municipal transportation and can be loaded through special terminals. Such cards can also be easily reissued in case of loss because they contain engraved surname, name, date of birth and a photo of their owner. The American state of Michigan is also called the world's car capital. More than 4,000 enterprises related to the car industry are functioning in its territory. However, there is an island city where much attention is paid to environmental issues. It is absolutely free of any types of vehicles. Even the roads of this urban center are not designed for transport. There are no parking lots, traffic lights and road signs. The only means of transportation are bicycles.